Facts matter when it comes time to vote, because otherwise you might spend your time worried about things like Bigfoot attacks and election rigging. Last year, we discovered the city of Denver's ballot information is not necessarily factual. After the attention we put on the issue, politics guy Marshall Zellinger found out a fix is in the works.
Denver's ballot information Blue Book is not vetted for truth. We found that out last year when Denver's Blue Book included this reason to vote against ballot issue 2C. 2C, which passed, allowed the city to borrow money to pay for transportation needs, including bike lanes. Back to the comment. This paragraph explaining why you should vote no was provided by a Denver voter. She wrote, "A recent study shows that 0.02% of the traveling public uses bike lanes on South Broadway." The study was really a 2-hour observation on one day by the head of Colorado's Automobile Dealers Association. The voter, whose paragraph was printed for all Denver voters to see, told me, "It didn't ask you for facts, it asks you for comments."
100% it should be accurate, which is one of the reasons I started working on this effort.
Denver City Councilwoman Kendra Black is working to get voters truthful ballot information.
We need to be really careful about that and kind of avoid what happened in 2021.
Denver's Blue Book is different than the state Blue Book. The state mails an actual Blue Book to every voter about statewide ballot issues we'll all vote on. Nonpartisan state legislative staff work on multiple drafts, summarizing and analyzing what a statewide ballot issue will do if passed. It goes through more checks and balances than Denver, where someone can submit a comment fewer than 500 words and have it printed without vetting for facts.
In Denver, we don't have that kind of neutral legislative staff and that is dedicated to that.
And Denver still won't, but City Council will consider approving a new way to review pro and con statements in the future, with staff from the Clerk and Recorder's Office, the City Attorney's Office, and legislative staff with City Council.
The hope is that that will sort of ensure that only accurate things are printed.
I'm not quite clear if that triad would be able to edit content or simply summarize it to keep it within the limits. City and state law prevents public money from advocating for or against ballot issues. I'm still not clear if editing for accuracy indicates advocating. Kyle, one other ballot issue real quick that will be resolved this year, the numbering of ballot issues, nerdy thing. Last year, for instance, Initiative 300 was about increasing the city's pot tax. But if you did a web search to learn about Initiative 300, you might have found out info about the camping ban from 2019, which was also called Initiative 300. No more going back to the start. This year's first number, based on where we left off last year, will be 305. No more repeating until it gets to 399 and then back again.
Okay, all right, okay, that makes sense. Can we go back to that previous thing though? So we're not sure whether Denver is going to have a voter guide that is factual or whether they will just condense people's random horse excrement into like a tighter paragraph?
So only because city funds can't be used to edit, I'm not clear right now if I said, like on the sidewalk issue, if I made something up about sidewalks, if that would get edited for clarity or for 500 words, or if it would get edited for accuracy. I got to go back and check on that.
What's that amazing quote that was in your story? They didn't ask for facts.
It asks for comments.
It asks for comments. Story of our lives.